I'd get to say 2 words and I'm getting interrupted every time. I'm not getting to say nothing. Like I was saying to you earlier, it's moaning a bit. It's not moaning, it's annoying. I'm not trying to talk over anybody. The point what I'm making is the reason why some people have certain opinions, me personally, like I said, I ain't watched a lot of your stuff, I watched 2-3 things, and I could tell, I'm not going to ask you if you do, because I could tell, you kind of rate the bad boys, innit? Do you get what I'm going to say to you, Because, no, you do, because in certain comments you make, I'll refer to like the Central Cee and Diddy thing. He was like, yeah, he's a real menace in this place, and he's you could tell by what you're saying and rare, right? Yeah. This is where I think some of the comments come from with like infatuation and all of that, to make you rare, right? Because I didn't think that till I heard certain comments, right? You with me, Now, right. I want you to be aware of where it might come from, because I come from that life. So I can give you the real opinion on that life. You feel what I'm trying to say? Yeah, cool. Yeah. So also, when you're doing certain things, you have to also be aware of how detrimental it could be for people. Because I watched something when you was reporting on something, I think it was an ongoing case right now, that could sway people's opinion. It could change someone's life.
What's the case?
It was the case with Ross Millions and stuff like that, innit?
Yeah, that thing,
Yeah. And it's ongoing. It's an open case. You get what I'm saying to you, It could have, the jury could watch that. You get what I'm saying to you? It could change someone's verdict. So you can't compare it to Iraq and Afghanistan and all of these things.
No one's
soldiers going there, no one's getting charged. You get what I'm saying to you? And furthermore, if you want to report that, to be honest with you, I don't really give a shit. I'm not a soldier. I've never been part of that culture, but do you know what culture I'm part of? This one. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So when I say something that could have affected me in some way, if I ever got to that position, then I'll have an opinion in it. And I think that's why sometimes people have an opinion on what you report, because you haven't got that background.
If you've watched only 3 of my videos, how can you even comment on me? If that's your reasoning that I can't talk about it because I've never lived that life, you haven't watched all my videos, so you can't talk on me, right?
You're missing a bit of why don't you consider the people that are on an open case, when you're talking about their open case, it could affect their
They're chatting about it on BBC, bro. So it's on the news, in the newspapers.
We're asking you about what you're doing.
Because I've got an opinion. It's free speech.
We're asking you, why don't you have any consideration if someone's got an open case? If you're
do the documentary after the case.
That's not my honestly, that's not my problem, bro.
We know it's not your problem. That's why you're doing
Durk's on songs on Billboard #1 talking about no, we had him screaming no, and then I'm not allowed to talk about these Billboard giant songs, so he shouldn't talk about
music. It's just music. It's the air. We're saying we shoot people and all that. Well, we ain't really shot no one.
Do you understand?
So you can say it on music, but we can't talk about it.
Yeah, and I'm saying it's just, I mean,
and talk about something I've done, and you might be
Free Smirky. Smirky's just saying that in his tracks. Because because Smirk needs to come home now, because he's trying to get Smirk a big sentence. I'm saying all these things. No, but he keeps talking about his sentence, bro. He's talking about his lyrics and all that. Forget his lyrics. They're entertainment purposes. Stop filming. Like they're entertainment purposes.
Like,
it's not though. It's not. He's talking about very specific things that happened and snitching on himself, bro.
He's just lyric.
He's done that.
I feel like you guys are in a different time.
You're implicating the guy and saying names.
It's social media now.
Even like it. What I'm saying, I could quote something in my music, I could quote something in my music and talk about something that I've actually done, and you could be a fan of the culture, and be able to pull back a lot of things from before that. Brandon might not even be onto you, right, and you might be able to highlight exactly what I said and what that meant.
Is that not your fault?
That's your fault.
Is that not your fault?
Putting it out like that. You know what I mean?
This is the thing.
If you want to put it in a song and basically snitch yourself in a song, then you're going to get upset at people for talking about it.
And if the song's charting,
it's man's fault. Go on.
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, all right, cool. But it's man's fault when man do everything. It's man's fault when man shoot someone in the face.
But if you're going to talk about it in a song, though.
When man rob a bank, it's man's fault when man. But that don't mean man want to go to jail. So what?
But if you rob a bank, are you going to go on a song and say, yeah, I just robbed the bank, and then we're all talking about it?
So what? If it's my fault. I don't mean I should go to prison.
Reporters, because it's all the other person's fault. Where do you draw the line between reporting on something for views, because let's have it 100, you're putting on your channel's views, you get paid for it, and like I said, it's not your business, but potentially harming someone who, without your judgment, the culture hasn't judged them. I said, no, we want them gone. The court system hasn't judged them and said, no, we want them gone. So who are you to make that decision, say, you know what, he needs to be gone, and I'm going to do everything. Stop answering.
What about the people getting killed, though?
Me not to do that. So, like, at the end of the day, you're doing something that could potentially harm someone and potentially harm a community of people that you are a guest in. Let's have it 100.
If you're killing people and are doing murders for hire, you're hurting the community way more than me chatting about it.
You're still avoiding the question.
I don't draw the line.
No, right. That's the answer to your question. You have to say that.
It's public info.
But you saying, oh, you're MC, you keep going to what other people do and using that as a reason for why what you're doing. Oh, other people are reporting on it, so I'm reporting on it. Oh, where you're doing it.
All right, yeah, well, we can scrap that.
You have to always be accountable for your actions, because if you ever see these people, they're not going to ask you about other people, because you've got a big enough platform to be held accountable.
But what are they going to do? They're going to murder me on site.
No, you could just be
Fuck
slapped.
that.
You could just be slapped.
Someone might
committed an assault, and I'm probably going to tell.
It's
I'm part of that life,
Someone
but
might send you bed.
He knows that.
and I'm hoping they go to jail for life for that. Honestly,
The wrong person to send to bed, really, isn't
the
it?
thing, no.
Bro, you are going crazy.
Chronik,
He's put
Chronik, I want to say this. I want to
Wait, Durk in jail, bro. Durk was in jail before the documentary.
But I was an hour late. Bro, if that, imagine that. I was an hour late. Say, man, I'm even like to say.
Nah, because then they're just gonna, if they're smart, no.
Man, I'm even like to say they're not even from them. They edited in.
like, you got what I'm saying? They put in work. Some people, like, let somebody tell somebody that, oh my God,
So
Durk
why
actually
if
wants
this was normally
somebody
shows
out
that
of it,
before, no?
and think they won't get him out of it.
No, but I'm saying,
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
But that could happen to anyone. You could just walk in the street and someone could bun you and you're done. But
Yeah,
then
it could,
at the same
but-
time, if you get a madman who comes up to him, is upset about what he said and does it, then it is what it is, isn't it? It's like,
Do you,
that could happen to anyone.
do you know what you're saying, yeah? What you're basically saying is this, yeah? Because you could get hit by a bus, yeah, you should walk up to a bunch of goons every now and again and say,
I'm not
"Fuck
saying,
you," and run.
no. But is he saying,
That's what you're saying.
No, but if buses hitting people, you got the right to say, yo, there's buses in the community. Look out for them buses. I'm saying look out. And we got to say, what about the justice for Quando Rondo's cousin, who was not part of the beef that got killed?
No. Fam, let's differentiate snitching.
Oh, you're gonna talk about how the fact that he's not on from
No, forget about that. Forget about that. Me and you go and do a
Maybe
crime.
watch them.
Forget about that.
If you want to call
Me
it
and
that.
you, that's what I'm saying to you. That's different from a snitch. That's what I'm saying to
They
you.
will call in there.
That's different from a snitch.
It's what it is, man. Come on.
Yes, come on, bro.
Hold on. You got that's peeping out of their window. Like, oh my God.
But why is it?
Then you caught me slipping, man.
If I rate it or not, of course I don't rate it.
Sounds like you rate it.
I've got a different one.
Bruv, you don't even know how
Seems
to
to be,
Bruv,
they know what's right and wrong, but they're going to the extent of looking into the wrong in Von or the wrong in Smirkio. Yeah. So what are you saying about Virgil? He's dead. What about his family?
What about his family, bro? If he was stealing people's ideas, what about the families of the people who got their ideas stole by a next billionaire?
Hold on. Let's have something right here. An idea isn't something that's actually real until you make it real. So let's have that. You've got an idea in your head today, and I do it. But if someone dies, isn't their family's feelings more important than that person's idea, being as it wasn't yours idea?
What? So you're saying because he's dead, I can't chat about him?